If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
I'm Rodney Williams.
And I'm Travis Holloway. Welcome to the Wealth Break Podcast, a real conversation about finance.
Let's be honest. Building wealth doesn't look the same for everyone.
I feel like sometimes being broke is a cycle and that we might have to revisit that.
And we're not stopping at success stories.
What happens when it doesn't go right? How do you cope with it?
Because wealth isn't just about money. It's about creating a life where you thrive and help others do the same.
Listen to the Wealth Break Podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KFI AM 640. It's later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. And I was wearing this light shirt today thinking like, we got a little more of summer. It's not white. It's after Labor Day, but the shirt's not white. And then I saw the news that a torrential downpour is headed our way. 50% chance of rain, I'm told, by none other than the Mark Robberies. What the hell is going on?
Well, Mo, there's a very good chance you could get moist tonight.
Hey.
You and your stylish white polo shirt.
Why you got to bring my polo shirt?
Hey, you brought it up. I didn't even notice it. I just thought that maybe you were wearing a bib or something. I had no idea.
So what's this about 50% chance of rain?
you can't.
I'm going to change the subject.
Okay, all right. Well, tonight we've got a 50% chance, and it's going to lessen as the days pass. So by the time we get to what is today, Wednesday, by Friday, It's down to 30.
I like that. I don't want the prospect of rain ruining or at least impacting my weekend
Or your shirt.
Hey. It's a nice shirt. It's Quicksilver.
No, I'm sure it's fine somehow. And people can see it if they tune in on the live feed on YouTube.
Good evening, Twala. See what you walked into.
It's a lot of shade.
You've been in the studio for all of 4 seconds, and you can see how Mark Ronner is just off to a horrible start.
Well, I'm just here to support you. That's all.
Yeah, like a jockstrap.
Hey, no, I don't want any contact with that stuff.
As you do the show, butt naked in the newsroom.
I am fully clothed for the most part.
Well, beyond the weather, there's a lot of serious news we have to get to tonight. Did you hear about how L.A. County has approved a rent relief program for those impacted by the wildfires and immigration raids? That's what we have to talk about for a moment. And also, did you hear about how Southern California airports, as much as we may dislike them, in the big picture, they rank among America's best, which is surprising to me. LAX, which is on the list. I don't see how, but it is. We'll tell you about it.
I would rather get a root canal than go to LAX.
Look, I am intimately familiar with all things LAX, and I've traveled the country and around the world. LAX is not a good airport thematically, logistically. There's nothing good about it.
I have spent the night at LAX and do not recommend.
We're going to talk about how we're, I guess, in the minority in that regard. And 7-Eleven is back in the news. Anybody want to guess why? Anyone?
There's superior roller hot dogs.
Yes, that too.
The pizza.
Yes. Keep going with that.
The what they call chicken or pigeon wings. I don't know what those wings are. The rat legs, maybe?
Yeah, that's probably part of the story, but I can't confirm that. But they have another pair of robberies targeting LA 7-Eleven.
Oh, man.
So once again, not Circle K, not AM PM, too much good stuff. No. It's only 7-Eleven. And I was the one who tried to warn you first. So I keep telling you, do not take your ass inside a 7-Eleven.
Well, we'll see what this story has to say.
Well, hopefully nobody died, but I mean, come on now. You don't want to be wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, that's true.
And the 2028 Olympics, when we say that they're going to be here before you know it, they are kind of here because starting soon next year, you'll be able to purchase tickets to the various events. I don't know if I'm going, but I'm still thinking about it. I want to go, but I don't know if there's anything like I feel like I need to go to because the Taekwondo is not as good as it used to be decades ago. It's a different brand. The boxing is not as good. I'm talking about just how our country emphasizes the sports. You're not seeing future champions like we used to with American boxing.
And you know that all of the gymnastic, those tickets are going to go quick.
And track and field. And they flip the events where track and field is going to be in the first week as opposed to the second week. So that is going to be a different feel to the Olympics. We'll talk about that later on. And of course, we have to talk about, I would say, the biggest news story of the day, the news that Jimmy Kimmel Live, the show, has been suspended indefinitely by ABC. And we're going to get into that and the role of Nexstar, how Nexstar owns about, maybe 24 ABC affiliates, and how the FCC chair figures all into this. It's not just what Jimmy Kimmel said. It's the other ancillary things around Jimmy Kimmel, which probably had more to do with the suspension than actually what Jimmy Kimmel said. But we'll get into that in the third hour. You know how we talk about cruises? There was a major fight aboard a Royal Caribbean ship. If you thought it was just relegated to Carnival, guess not. They're moving on up to Royal Caribbean, Twala. I don't know if we can stand for that.
I don't like this. I don't like that this is happening on Royal Caribbean. I don't like the idea of fighting when there's a major cruise happening next year that we're supposed to all be aboard.
Here's a serious point I do want to make. And I made this point on KTLA last week, and people got mad because I didn't say what they wanted me to say about Charlie Kirk. So I need you to pay attention to what I'm going to say. In my remarks on KTLA, I said that we are violent as a nation in every facet of our society. And since we are violent in every facet of our society, any aspect of our society is also going to be violent, be it politics, be it cruise excursions, be it schools. So it really doesn't matter. It's not surprising to me that once again, there's another facet of violence in American society. This is just more of who we are. Now, the depths of violence, the extent of the violence may vary. We're not talking about a school shooting, but by and large, we are a violent nation, and it plays out.
You know what? I just thought about it. There was a fight aboard the cruise ship that we were on late at night. I was coming back to the room, and it was a small skirmish between two guys, and they were over near where they were giving out those delicious slices of free pizza. The place that's open like damn near forever, and they got the biscuits and just whatever you want all night. Then I thought you had to pay for that stuff, and then I think maybe one of your sons was like, "No, dude, that's free. You just go and get it
whenever you want."
There was a fight right there, but then and I hadn't seen them, and I didn't know they existed. But cruise security, they descended on that section. It was right across from where the sports bar was.
Yes,
yeah, it was right there, like kind of in the middle. It was just two guys that were drunk and a bunch of people trying to break it up. But yeah, there was a fight.
We got to talk about all those things of cruising as well tonight. It's later with Mo Kelly. When we come back, we're going to give you some LA County news as far as rent relief for those impacted by the wildfires and immigration raids. That's next.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
We all know that owning a small business means you wear many hats, but sometimes you really need an extra pair of hands. Upwork is how good companies find great and trusted freelance talent. With more than 2 decades of experience, with the simple and ambitious goal of pioneering a better way of working, companies at every stage turn to Upwork to get things done and find more flexibility in staffing key projects and initiatives. They access a global marketplace filled with top talent in IT, web dev, marketing, and more. Posting a job on Upwork is easy. With no cost to join, you can register, browse freelancer profiles, and get help drafting a job post or even book a consultation. From there, you connect with freelancers that get you and can easily hire them and take your business to the next level. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's Upwork.com to post your job for free and connect with top talent ready to help your business grow. That's UPWORK.com, Upwork.com. Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At forhers.com/4u, you can access affordable doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored just for you. These include oral medication kits or compounded GLP-1 injections. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits start at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full up front. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help through Hers. Get started at forhers.com/4u to access affordable doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's forhers.com/4u, forhers.com/4u. Paid for by Hims and Hers Health. Weight loss by Hers is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly. It's Later with Mo Kelly, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And people are still dealing with the aftermath of the fires. I know, Tuala, not to tell all your business, but I know you are still. I know other people close to me are still. And there are also the immigration raids, which are impacting people on various levels in different ways. In response to that, the LA County Board of Supervisors yesterday unanimously approved the creation of about $30 million emergency rent relief program to assist people still dealing with either income loss or home loss from the January wildfires and those financially affected by the federal immigration enforcement actions. That's kind of vague, but it's inclusive of. Now, if you're wondering, like, where is this money coming from? Well, the LA County Board of Supervisors had previously established eviction protection measures and a rent relief program that was already in the budget and had identified some $10 million to fund this effort. So it's not like taking or asking for more money. It is money that has already been set aside for things similar to this. Now, how it's going to be received or how it's going to be doled out, that's the situation where I think people are going to be focusing most of their energy. The proposal would take the initial $10 million rent relief allocation and split it between wildfire and immigration-affected residents. It also calls for the use of another $9.8 million in affordable housing trust fund money to be used mainly for immigration-impacted residents. And I only use this as a jumping off point to highlight that people are still hurting, people are still struggling, people are still dealing with the fires. We're talking about something which happened in January, but I'm quite sure the hundreds, if not thousands of people who have been impacted, who have been displaced, who have lost their home, who have lost possibly both their home and their employer, depending on where you work. There are a lot of businesses which were lost to the fires. They have not been made whole yet. And I mention that because I know, Tuala, you've been still going through it. Let me just be general about this. From what you're seeing in your neighborhood, how much is back, how many people are back, how many people, or what would you say are the percentage of people who might still be struggling?
I mean, the people that are back, next to damn near none. While a lot of homes have been cleared, I have been seeing far less reconstruction, permits granted. I mean, nothing is going up. Most of Altadena right now, it looks like an urban jungle. And I mean that literally, because you have these once, standing home structures that and plots that are now just overgrown and overrun with vines and bushes and plants that are just growing. I mean, it looks like it's crazy scary up there. You've got wolves, you've got bears that are walking around, Christmas Tree Lane. It is literally crazy up there. And I can tell you for a fact, every single one of those homeowners who have not started even cracked, ground on rebuilding, they're still struggling. Everyone I know who has lost their home, they're still struggling. They're still trying to figure out how they're going to make it, because a lot of people did not have the insurance policies to carry them through, and waiting on some of these lawsuits 2 and 3 years from now. Who's able to survive?
Just talking about Altadena. Is there power? Is there gas? Is there water? In other words, for people who want to move back in, who maybe have a structure or something of a house there, could they move back in? Yeah.
A lot of Altadena, the water is good. You can shower in it. You can, drink it if you have a filter refrigerator, all that. They've cleared the ground of all the toxins, allegedly. We may not know. Maybe,
you won't know until 25 years ago. People start getting cancer.
People who start suing or whatever. Yeah, actually, come on back to Altadena. The ground is clear. And then next thing we got lead poisoning. Who knows? But I would say that, yes, you absolutely could. If you had a standing structure, you could return home if you've gone through the process of maybe getting it clean, getting it fixed up, all that. There's a lot of people who are still struggling to even get those things done. There are people trying to figure out, like, am I just going to rent a mobile home, which I have seen a few. I have seen a few people who have rented trailers and just
put it on their lot.
On the lot, and they're just out there. And, so you drive around sometimes at night. Man, ghost town doesn't begin to describe it, because it's not a town. It's just plot after plot after plot, shambles of a plot. Hey, there's a mobile home. Plot, and so forth and so on.
Are there street lights? In other words, can you see, or is it basically very dangerous at that point?
It's very, very dark, and there are street lights on a lot of the main streets. So, like, say, if I was going up Fair Oaks or Lake Street or Altadena Drive, there are still a lot of street lights, but there's a lot of area where there just aren't. It is dark up there, and I mean dark. What's crazy? I was up there not long ago, and there's a concert at the Rose Bowl. Oasis maybe was performing. I think they were there. And up in Altadena, from where I'm at, I could hear them clearly. I'm like, it sounds like someone is next door having a party. And I'm like, who is in the neighborhood?
Because there's nothing in between.
There's nothing in between. Nothing stopping that sound from just carrying all the way up into the hills.
Something will continue to follow. It's later with Mo Kelly. Got to tell you about the airports, the good and the bad, and the LA ones, which are supposed to be pretty damn spectacular. I don't know if I agree with it, but we'll tell you about some of the best airports in America, and Southern California is well represented.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later with Mo Kelly. Live everywhere on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app. And I've been back now from vacation about 2.5 weeks. And the hardest part of vacation for me is always the flight, the travel. That makes it unbearable, especially when you're coming home and there's nothing to look forward to. You just want to get home. I am very sensitive to airports, how they're laid out, trying to catch a connection. Is it logical as far as how it's laid out? Do you have to get on a tram to go from one side of the airport to the other? All those things matter. So when I saw this J.D. Power 2025 study of the best airports relative to customer satisfaction. That's important. 2025 study based on 30,439 completed surveys from U.S. or Canadian residents who traveled through at least one U.S. or Canadian airport. And it covers both departure and arrival experiences, including connecting airports. This is what it came down to. It's not, there are a bunch of lists. So I can't do all the lists, but I can tell you some of the highlights on the various lists. And the different lists are by size of airport. And they also rank the airports based on their size. The different categories are mega, large, and medium. Mega airports are those with 33 million or more passengers per year. Large airports, 10 to 32.9 million passengers per year. And medium airports with 4.5 to 9.9 million passengers per year. As far as California, John Wayne Airport, second straight year, it's ranked number one as far as satisfied customers for large airports, 10 to 32.9 million. I've only flown in and out of John Wayne, I want to say once or twice. It's probably great if you can get the flight that you want to go there, or if it makes sense to you, like Burbank. Burbank is a great little airport. It's considered medium size, but if you get the chance to fly in or out of Burbank, especially if you work in Burbank, it's great for that. But there are not a lot of flights, and you're most likely going to have to connect. And those are some of the other things which go to my level of dissatisfaction, where it's like, well, and the flights cost more usually, because Burbank is not one of those destinations where a lot of carriers are going to be flying into. But speaking of Burbank did make the list, and it is 9th in the medium size category. So Hollywood Burbank Airport came in 9th. Oakland International Airport came in 21st in large airport category. And we told you that John Wayne came in first in that category. San Diego International Airport came in 15th in large airports. San Jose International came in 12th in large airports. So California is well represented, especially in the large airport category. Sacramento International Airport, 11th in the large category. But here's the thing I don't understand. LAX, and we're talking about customer satisfaction, came in 15th in the mega category. I hope that there are only 15 airports in the mega category, because there's nothing satisfying about LAX. Not trying to get in it, not trying to get out, not trying to get around it. Let's say, like, for example, you land at LAX, there's a good chance, unless you're going to pay $80 to $90 at the minimum, if you're trying to get to rideshare, you have to walk your happy ass down to somewhere past Terminal 1, where we can catch an Uber and Lyft. And that's not either convenient or even practical oftentimes. If you have 4 or 5 bags and you have to walk literally a half a mile just to get to rideshare, what customer is satisfied about that?
Just the driving and dropping someone off now, and all the construction that's there, the way the lots are, it's a nightmare for that. Forget about trying to get a ride share out of there. Just driving to drop someone off at LAX is a major hassle.
And talking about dropping someone off at LAX, I know it's in process, but you still cannot get directly to the airport from public transportation. And it's like, they'll drop you off near, and you can catch this shuttle. You're close by. I think the People Mover or something. You're close, but it's not there. And if you go to any other major city, they have the subway, which takes you directly to the airport. We don't have that yet. And eventually when we have it, it'll be better, and maybe we'll be higher on the list. But you can't tell me that there are airports in the mega category which are worse than LAX and that not be a consideration. That's the thing for me in LAX. I don't live far from LAX, which is good for me personally. And if you know some of the tips and tricks of where you can drive in the back way to avoid some of that traffic coming off the 405, yeah, that helps. But as far as the airport itself, it's very small, and the city and county of Los Angeles have outgrown that particular airport. I know they tried to remodel it and update it, but still, for a city as big as LA, and just go to the other major cities, LAX is tiny in comparison. And with that, you have all this excessive traffic, which is trying to get in that horseshoe in and out. And don't miss your airport terminal and then have to go all the way back around. You just lost another 45 minutes out of your life right there.
That is why I say dropping someone off is horrible. It's what happened to me last time.
I always say, if you're going to drop someone off, take them to arrivals and drop them off there. Don't try to drop them off on departures.
That's a good hack.
No, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Just drop them off at arrivals. You'll have less traffic trying to get specifically to the terminal you want. And all they're going to do is just take the escalator up to the departure level.
That is a fantastic hack.
Yeah.
Wow. Never thought of that.
Mark, I can't speak for any airport in Washington, the state of Washington. Does Seattle or Spokane rank anywhere with you?
SeaTac is not horrible. Spokane is too small even to count for anything. But I haven't slept there. I've slept at O'Hare.
I've done that.
Yeah, I've slept at LAX. I'm trying to think of the other ones
O'Hare
slept at.
Horrible.
Oh, yeah. You talk about running to catch a flight.
Yes.
O'Hare is the worst for that.
SFO was really bad because I had to run to catch a flight just to get back into LA from my vacation, and their terminals are nowhere close to each other. They're just really, really spread out.
Yeah. So, the worse shape you're in, the more chance you have of having a heart attack to get to your next flight, because you've got some, especially if you're carrying a bag, and invariably, the first flight in your 2-flight connection is going to be late. It's a nightmare. I hate flying now. Flying has gotten so much worse in our adult lives.
Could you think back to the time pre 9/11 where you could walk all the way up to the gate and greet whoever was flying in, or you could have your whole family at the gate waiting to send you off? Mm-hmm. It was not a big deal. Yeah, you had magnetometers, but you weren't taking off shoes. You weren't taking off belts. It was just a completely different. You could genuinely show up at the airport 20 minutes before your flight, check your bag,
yep,
and still make your flight.
Yeah, we can't have nice things, can we?
Never again. I mean, I'm not going to blame 9/11 on us, but, it's a point of no return. We'll never go back to that pre 9/11 world.
Yeah, it's
never.
Been a real slippery slope. I will avoid flying at all costs now, and I used to not really mind it at all. And I used to really be fond of Virgin, which doesn't, I think, exist anymore. I think
it doesn't exist domestically. You can fly Virgin Atlantic internationally.
Right. I took so many flights between Seattle and LA. It was just an enjoyable experience. But now, just like one little nasty thing at a time, to the point where I'll stay home. I'll have a conference call or a Skype or something, anything to avoid getting on a plane, especially at LAX. Now, I've long been a fan of the Burbank Airport.
Yes.
I've known that hack and used it, and I have mixed feelings about telling everybody about it on the air, as well as your hack about going to the arrival gate when you're dropping off for departures, or vice versa, whatever works for you at the time. Those are good hacks, but they're not enough. Especially, have you noticed, since the beginning of the year and the new FAA head has taken over, there have been so many incidents with airlines. I don't feel quite as cool about the safety of it as I used to either.
Who are you telling? Okay, I'm one of those folks. I fly because I have to, not because I like to, not because I want to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's an old Sean Connery movie called Cuba that opens up with him on a plane about to take off, and he's like holding the icy cocktail up against his forehead because he's so stressed. And that's me every time I get on a plane now.
Yeah, I don't like it. And you think as you get older, you just get more comfortable with it. Nope, not me. Not me. And it's never stopped me from getting on a plane, but it's something that I'm always very uncomfortable with.
Right. And add to that the fact that so much as a bottle of water and a sandwich you're going to have to take out a student loan for it if you get it at the airport. There's nothing good about the experience anymore. Nothing. It makes me nostalgic for the time before we were born when like men would wear sport coats and hats.
Yes, they dress up to fly,
and they'd like bring a nice meal under glass out to your chair on the plane
with real silverware and everything.
Yeah. The old Mad Men era of flight sounds magnificent to me now.
And then you realize the planes were like 1/10 as safe as what they are now.
Well, if you want to throw in that little detail, I guess that does detract from it just a little bit. But focus on the mini skirts, Mo.
Right. And the stewardesses, as they were called back then. When we come back, speaking of safety, let's talk about 7-Eleven and the 2 robberies which just happened.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/day to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/day for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
KFI is Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app, and LAPD is investigating 2 different 7-Eleven robberies within 2 miles of each other. Happened real early this morning. The first one happened at around 4:30 a.m. in the 1700 block of Slauson Avenue. And it was said that the suspects, 3 men and a woman, fled the scene in a black Kia Optima. They were dressed in all black and wearing masks, entered the store and stole smoking products in addition to 2 cash registers. They stole the whole register to probably just see if they can open them later. They were not able to disclose exactly how much merchandise or money was taken. And just a few minutes later, police responded to another robbery at a 7-Eleven on South Figueroa near 54th Street in the same area. And they found that this incident may have actually occurred first, but wasn't reported until about 40 minutes later. Long story short is 7-Eleven was targeted again.
Yeah, but that's 7-Elevens in LA. See, the one that I stopped by when I'm leaving here, right over here on Hollywood Way, this is Burbank. Burbank is nice and safe.
Yeah, so is Encino until they have the follow home robberies and the burglaries.
Oh,
yeah. This is kind of like the Mo perpetual argument about the poop in the water at the beach. Like, where's the cutoff?
At this point, it's not an isolated incident. And to your point, Mark, if people are targeting 7-Eleven, I don't believe they're targeting 7-Eleven in just LA proper. I think if any 7-Eleven is a target, and we talked about this before, I think if you've ever been in a 7-Eleven, the cash register and the counter is usually an open area. Yep. It's open air area where you can reach your hand over. It's not like most gas station places where it's Lexan glass and the attendant is behind some sort of barrier where, you know, you can ask for the money all you want. All they're going to do is reach under the counter and pull out the shotgun.
Yeah, because the 7-Eleven that I go to, my favorite 7-Eleven right over here in Burbank, there's literally a space where you, like a couple times, you may think that that's where you go to walk to get the coffee, but you find yourself right next to the cashier.
Right next to.
And you're like, oh, my bad. And you have to go back around the little display that they've got set up. And I'm like, you guys should really make this more clear that this is where the cashier is, not where the coffee is.
I think it's just too easy access. And for someone who's looking to get a few $100 or whatever it is they think is in the register, it's a lot easier to threaten and get that money when there's no physical barrier there. Now, this actually kind of connects to our conversation about going into convenience stores and how everything is behind glass or is in sort of locked cabinet. Well, yeah, this is similar to that, and it makes it easier to commit these robberies because everything's available.
Yeah. Now, the one here in Burbank, and the reason I think I like this one a lot is because oftentimes there are police cars in the parking lot. So by the time I'm going, our fine officers of Burbank PD, they want some coffee late at night. They want some chips and dips or whatever they're going in there to get, but they're there. When I see them there, that is when I'll bust a hell of a U-turn and go and get some coffee just so I'm like, oh, it's safe at night.
Look, if they're going to rob this 7-Eleven, damn it, let it be while Burbank PD is right there eating some donuts.
Yes, the 7-Eleven sushi, whatever it is that they're there for,
oh my God,
that's when I'm stopping.
Please please tell me you've never eaten the 7-Eleven sushi.
They have that?
Yes.
They do. They have the 7-Eleven sushi. Yes.
I don't think so.
They do, Mark. They do. It's not like maybe, in Japan or Korea, wherever it is where the 7-Elevens are shishi la fufu, but it's 7-Eleven sushi.
I wouldn't try that on a dare.
No.
Bet.
No, here's the thing. It's just, you can get the California roll. It's got like avocado, rice,
carrots,
and carrots, stuff like that. I wouldn't buy 7-Eleven sushi that has crab or fish, even though if you go early enough, you can't get the one with the crab. You can get the crab.
I thought it's like fake crab meat. Not that I go in 7-Eleven, but I'm thinking.
I don't think it's real crab meat.
Crab with a K, the crab paste.
You're not wrong.
Yes.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
I'm Rodney Williams.
And I'm Travis Holloway. Welcome to the Wealth Break Podcast, a real conversation about finance.
Let's be honest. Building wealth doesn't look the same for everyone.
I feel like sometimes being broke is a cycle and that we might have to revisit that.
And we're not stopping at success stories.
What happens when it doesn't go right? How do you cope with it?
Because wealth isn't just about money. It's about creating a life where you thrive and help others do the same.
Listen to the Wealth Break Podcast on the iHeartRadio app,